Hey everyone. So this is like an overview video. I'm actually going to post a more thorough, um, focused video later on, but I want to go over my deck concept ideas for four great dragons. So this is a pretty fun um, archetype that's being more relevant in EX3. Like the four great dragons have existed before, but now they're making a strategy that's centered around playing the four great dragons. So I thought that this was a pretty fun deck to build. Um, I did improve this deck over time. What you see here was my um, bare, like the backbone of my idea. This one's not good. But again, I made V1, then V2, then V3, then V4, and then like one that's only yellow. But yeah, some of the two of these are on DigimonCard.io. Two of these are on DigimonCard.dev. I was doing on DigimonCard.dev and I ran out of space. And since these are all on DigimonCard.io, I was able to just recreate the deck over here to free up some space on .dev. And then I have one extra one that's only yellow. That isn't really the four great dragons, but it's more so focused on Magnum German because Magnum's pretty good. But anyways, I'm going to briefly go over the deck idea. Like, this deck composition is not good, but it will get better with each version that I go through. So this Agumon, EX3027, basically when this is an inherited, when this is a Digimon source, once per turn, during your turn when you play a Digimon of four great dragons and its traits or place trial of the four great dragons in your battle area, you draw one. So this is helpful for drawing, but this deck doesn't need the drawing. So this inheritable is okay for this deck, like this very specific deck. Like, it's not good. Patamon, on play, reveal the top four cards of your deck. Add one yellow card of Angel, Cherub, Throne, Authority, Seraph, or Virtue and all of its traits, and one card of four great dragons and its traits among them to your hand. So basically, you can get any of your dragons, and then the only card they can get aside from the dragon is the Angiwomon. Gatomon, exact same effect on play, and then you can get any of your four great dragons, I should say. I forgot about these. But any of your four great dragons and then Angiwomon. This Patamon is there just because I wanted an extra rookie to digivolve into, and there were not other great rookie options. So this is mainly just a flex spot. It does help if you reduce DP enough, but it's not an integral part of this deck. Vidramon. When Digivolve and reveal the top four cards of your deck, add one yellow card of Dramon in its name, and one card of four great dragons in its name among them to your hand. And then inherited effect. When you play a Digimon of four great dragons and its traits, one of those Digimon gain Rush. I forgot to mention that the Gatomon also has the same inheritable. But with this Vidramon on play, you will probably not... No, on Digivolve. So this is when Digivolving. So you can search for another Vidramon, an Arrow Vidramon, Magnum German, Magnum German X, Gold Dramon, Magnum German, because those are all yellow Dramon cards. And then you can also search for an additional Magnum German, if you choose to, Magnum German X, Gold Dramon, or Mega Dramon, Azulangmon. So any of your four great dragons. If you do reveal two Magnum Dramons, you can add both Magnum Dramons to your hand. Or two Gold Dramons to your hand. Arrow V Dramon. If you don't have a trial of the four great dragons to play, you may place one trial of the four great dragons from your hand to a battle area. important that you don't actually play the option card. So you don't get the main effect of the option card when you play it, but you just simply place it into your battle area, so that you can use the delay effect later. Opponent's turn, while you have a Digimon of 4 Great Dragons and its traits in play, or Trial of the 4 Great Dragons in your battle area, then this Digimon has blocker. As an inheritable, all of your Digimon of 4 Great Dragons and their traits gain blocker. This Anti-Wellmon has the same when Digivolving effect. If you don't have the Trial of the 4 Great Dragons in play, you can place one into your battle area. And then your turn once per turn when you play a Digimon of 4 Great Dragons in its traits, or place Trial of the 4 Great Dragons in your battle area, one of your opponent's Digimon gets mass 3000 DP for the turn. Inherited effect, when you play a Digimon of 4 Great Dragons in its traits, or place a Trial of the 4 Great Dragons in your battle area, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3000 DP for the turn. So essentially, this is a blocker while you place Trial of the 4 Great Dragons into play for the turn, or if you play a 4 Great Dragons for the turn. This subtracts 3000 DP under the same conditions as the Aerovidramon. And then this is a blocker while you have 4 Great Dragons. No, I take it back. Your 4 Great Dragons have blocker when this is inheritable. And then when this is inheritable, when you play a 4 Great Dragon, or when you place the option card, then you subtract 3000 DP. So I don't think that the inheritables are necessarily good for the Anti-Wellmon. I don't think that the minus 3000 DP effect is really good either. It might come in handy, but mainly these are there for you to free place, I should say, because you aren't playing, to place the Trial of the 4 Great Dragons into your battle area. Magnum German BT2 is there for recovery, and you can also free play a yellow level 3 Digimon card from your hand when you attack. Azulongmon from BT6, trash 1 Digivolution card. You're never going to use the 1 Digivolution effect. But for each Digimon with no Digivolution cards that your opponent has, this Digimon gets an extra security attack, which can be useful situationally. So it's not reliable enough to run more than one copy, in my opinion. But if you have Rush from Vidramon or Gatomon as inheritable sources, then you can just play this and then swing for maybe 2 or 3 security attacks. This Azulongmon, on play, draw 2. If you played it by the trials, which you will most probably play it by the trials, then you also gain 2 memory, which is situational again. But I don't. It's pretty mediocre in my opinion. Magnum German X Antibody. While you can Digivolve off of your Magnum Germans, you can also choose this as a target from the option itself. So if you do Digivolve off of a Magnum German that you free play using the option, because this option prevents you from Digivolving into a level 7, but this is just a level 6, so you can play a Magnum German and then Digivolve that Magnum German into this Magnum German X Antibody. When Digivolving, if Magnum German or X Antibody is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, all of your opponent's Digimon and security Digimon get minus 1000 DP for the turn for each card in your security stack. End of attack, once per turn, you may add the top card of your security stack to your hand to unsuspend this Digimon. So this is situational removal, or just weakening your opponent's Digimon enough for you to swing over it. But you can also swing again a second time if you get rid of your security cards, which can be useful sometimes, because sometimes you just want to be able to swing 2 times, either for more removal or if you want to get 2 security checks in. And the Azulongmon is either not in your hand or it's not the situation for extra security attacks with it. Magnum German EX3. On play, all of your opponent's Digimon gain security attack +1. If you played it using Charles, then they get -2 security attack instead. I should note that the EX3 for Great Dragons, the Azulongmon, Magnum German, German, when they are deleted, you can place a trial of the 4 Great Dragons into the battle area if you don't have one. This one has a different effect. German, it's also treated as Chaos Gallantmon, so it could be worthwhile to also run the EX2 German. On play, delete one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon. If this card was played by Trials, then you can delete up to a level 6 Digimon instead of up to a level 5. Okay, yeah. And then same effect. If on deletion you don't have a Trials, then you can play Trials. So the Goldramon, you can have a chance of digivolving because I am making a yellow base, so you can digivolve up to Goldramon or Magnetramon pretty easily. So when digivolving, you may return one card of 4 Great Dragons and traits from your trash to your hand. So any of your level 6 dragons, and this option card you can return to your hand because this also has the 4 Great Dragons trait. But yeah, you can return any of your level 6s or trials to your hand. When attacking, one of your opponent's Digimon gets -6,000 DP for the turn. So depending on your DP effects, that you can delete something, which is why I'm running Patamon, but it's not that good in this deck. It doesn't really tie the deck together in any way. But you can return one to your hand. When attacking, give one of your opponent's Digimon -6,000 DP, and then if you return an Azulongmon, Magnetramon, and Megidramon from your trash to the bottom of your deck in any order, trash the top 2 cards of your opponent's security stack. So that is the fun goal that the 4 Great Dragons is supposed to work around. But if you think about it, it's insanely hard for a yellow focused deck to get the other dragons into your trash, because if you are not if you're not hard playing the Azulongmon, the Megidramon, then you have to pretty much get them into the trash after playing them with trials, or if you're lucky enough that they're in your security and then you get security checked and then they go to trash. But the time that you would have to take to fill your trash with Azulongmon, Magnetramon, and Megidramon. So Azulongmon, Magnetramon, Megidramon, and then also attack with Goldramon. It's too much of an investment for yellow decks. So honestly, this was like my backbone idea. I just wanted to put the cards out there so I can look at them to mess with them. But yeah, this effect, I don't think they can pull it off very easily. Godflame, main, one of your opponent's Digimon gets -6,000 DP for the turn. Then you may return one card of 4 Great Dragons and straight from your trash to your hand. Security effect, just activate the main effect. Trial the 4 Great Dragons. Main effect, draw 1. So if you play it from your hand, then you draw 1. If it comes into the ballot area any other way, you do not draw 1. Then place this into your ballot area. Main effect, delay. Then you can free play a 4 Great Dragon from your hand. And then it cannot digivolve until level 7. And then it's also deleted at the end of your opponent's turn. So yeah, this deck is in no way good. So I was like thinking, what are the flaws with this deck? And then that brought me to version 2, which is still not that great. I was looking at this. I was like, Godflame is useless. Let's remove Godflame. Put in a memory tamer instead, because I have no memory. I have no tamers in this deck at all. So I put in 3 TK Takaishis. The deck is looking better, but again, it doesn't really make sense to focus on a 4 Great Dragon strategy if I'm unable to fill my trash with them fast enough for them to actually matter and for Goldramon to get the bonus effect. So it's like thinking about it, how do I fill up my trash faster? And then that brought me to the idea of incorporating a purple strategy into the deck. So this deck is better than version 2. This is version 3 of the deck. Still not to my liking, but I did get rid of some cards so that I can put in Gatomon. So I can reveal top 3 cards of my deck, add 1 yellow Digimon card, 1 purple Digimon card. So I can add the entire Goldramon base and the entire Magnum German base, and also just Goldramon and Magnum German base to my hand. But then purple, I can get a Gatomon if I draw another one, Lady Devimon, or one of the Megidramons. So it's pretty good for allowing me to search for the yellow cards I need for upcoming turns. Also, if I need Lady Devimon, then I can get the Lady Devimon. This reduces cost of Digivolution into Lady Devimon or Angiwomon by 2, so it just costs 1 to Digivolve into either of them. It may seem weird that I'm using Lady Devimon if my goal is not to go up to level 6. But Lady Devimon, draw 2, trash 2 cards, is useful because after searching for some cards using Patamon, Gatomon, Vidramon, or Gatomon, this Gatomon, then you are able to get specific cards into your hand, and then Lady Devimon to discard 2 specific cards. So if you need Azulongmon in your trash, get rid of 1. Magnadramon in your trash, get rid of 1. Megidramon in your trash, get rid of 1. So this when Digivolving effect is the whole reason why I'm playing Lady Devimon. My goal isn't really to Digivolve into Megidramon. Like, you could do that, but it's not necessary. But again, this is just a backbone of my version 3 idea. It's getting better, but then I realized that if I really want to make the deck work, if I really want to fill up my trash with a copy of Magnadramon, Azulongmon, and Megidramon, then I have to invest more into purple. So then that brought me to version 4 of the deck. So I am fully invested in a purple base. So this deck, I'm pretty sure would work well. But let's explain what my thought process was. So if you've seen my Imperial Dramon red purple deck profile video, this is a very similar base to that. Demi-Marimon, inheritable, draw 1, trash 1, on deletion. Gabumon, inheritable, on deletion, draw 2, trash 1. Eismon Sky Mode, on deletion, draw 3, trash 2. Tapermon, on deletion, draw 1. So this isn't really that amazing, but in case you draw a Tapermon and you don't have a Gabumon, or if you don't have a Gabumon, then this is just something that you can Digivolve into. And assuming that you don't have an Eismon Sky Mode or a Gatomon that you can Digivolve off of, not that you should Digivolve off of Gatomon most times, but you are able to just draw 1. So even if you can't trash cards from your hand with the Tapermon, then you are able to just Digivolve onto Demi-Marimon, on deletion, draw 1, and then on deletion, draw 1, trash 1. You can do that. But yeah, if you've seen my Imperial Dramon deck profile video, this is just drawing a bunch of cards, trashing a bunch of cards specifically. So if you can get one Magnum German, one Azulongmon, and one Megidramon into your trash, you are golden. And then you are ready for the Goldramon jank. You don't have to Digivolve into Goldramon. You can just free play the Goldramon, really. So this deck is more centered around free playing the Goldramon than actually free playing your other 4 Great Dragons. With the other decks, it was more focused on free playing the Magnum, Azulongmon, Megidramon. This one's more focused on just Digivolving, trashing your other 4 Great Dragons, and then free playing this from your option card. But yeah, I think that we talked about the other cards already. TK Takaishi just to memory set to grab a yellow card from your security stack. Megidramon, if I were to make a change, I would replace one of these with the EX2 Megidramons. But yeah, this seems pretty fun. If I choose to play this deck later on, I will test my results out and then make a follow-up video if I think that this deck needs one. But yeah, this seems pretty easy to understand. The Gatomon can also search for Lady Devimon or Angiwellmon, if I'm correct. No, it cannot. It has to be a yellow. It has to be a yellow card. So I take it back. You cannot search for Lady Devimon with Gatomon. I thought that you could, which was one of the reasons why I included Lady Devimon, but now that I read this again, you cannot search for Lady Devimon. But yeah, I may adjust this deck if I think it needs adjustment. I'm not in a rush to build this deck, honestly, because I'm so very, very excited for the Imperial Dramon Dragon mode. But once I do make this deck, I come back to it, I will post an update. But, you know, if you choose not to build around Goldramon and then the security trashing effect, you can instead focus on just a pure yellow build. This is just something that I threw together for fun. It may not be that good, but again, this is mainly for fun. I will test this deck out eventually. Lucemons are surprisingly cheap now. Back a couple months ago, I remember Lucemon was like $40 to $50. The alt art was like $60. Now the alt art's like $20 because people are not playing Lucemon, and that gives me joy because I just pick up 4 alt art Lucemons for $80. But yeah, Lucemon, rookie level 3. You can on play this card to recover 1. Most likely you will not hard play from your hand the Lucemon. Like it costs 13, you could possibly reduce its play cost by 8, so it's a 5 cost Digimon, at which point you might consider playing Lucemon from your hand, but most likely you will play Lucemon from your effects. Salamon Inheritable. When attacking once per turn, if you have 3 or more security cards, draw 1. This is in contrast to Upamon. When attacking, if you have 3 or fewer security cards, you draw 1. So theoretically, if you have an Upamon as your Digi-Egg, then you Digivolve a Salamon on top of the Upamon, then something on top of the Salamon, then you will always draw 1 when you attack once per turn. But yeah, whether you have fewer than 3 or if you have more than 3, or 3 or more, I should say, then you can draw 1. So the Agumon, let me think. I think that this Agumon is actually better in this deck than it was in previous iterations that I have constructed. But yeah, this Agumon's pretty good in this deck. So I'm running 4 of these Agumons. The Salamon, the Agumon, you really want to Digivolve off of your Upamons. The Patamon, you can Digivolve. It's not that great when Digivolved onto your Upamon, but it is still pretty good to Digivolve onto your Upamon. So I am playing 2 of these. So more of a focus on Salmon, more of a focus on Agumon, less of a focus on Patamon, but you can Digivolve when necessary. If you find it better to unplay it, then you can just unplay it. And then search for a 4 Great Dragons card, or search for Enjiwomon. Those are your targets. We've been over these cards. So with this deck, you want to focus more on Magnadramon. You can Digivolve into Magnadramon, or you can unplay Magnadramon, but the card that you really want to Digivolve into is Lord Knightmon. So by Digivolving into your level 5s, you will have the opportunity to play Trowel of the 4 Great Dragons. You can place Trowel of the 4 Great Dragons, for free. So essentially, search for 4 Great Dragons, and that includes the option card that contains the trait 4 Great Dragons. Search for 4 Great Dragons. Search for 4 Great Dragons. You have several cards that can search for Magnadramon or for Trowel of the 4 Great Dragons. So if you get 1, then you're pretty good. 2, you're pretty good. So in regular decks, this card is pretty good because on deletion, if you don't have a Trials in play, then you can freely place 1 from your hand to the battle area. So this on deletion helps you to get more Trial of the 4 Great Dragons out. So if you do not, since I'm not focusing too much on this, I have an engine that lets me free play level 3s, so I can build up to it to the level 5s again and then play another trial. In case I don't free place 1 from this on deletion, I can just go back up to level 5 and then free place 1 from the level 5s when digivolving. But anyways, this Magnadramon has a very particular when attacking effect. You may play one yellow level 3 Digimon card from your hand without paying its memory cost. The best option is definitely Lucamon, because wow, if it has Rush from your level 4s, then you can just boop, free play Magnadramon, recover if you are able to recover, which is why I'm playing Kari Kamiya. So you are able to recover. There's so much recovery in this deck that Kari Kamiya is just pretty good. So this can recover, and then you can play a yellow level 3 Digimon card, ideally Lucamon, and then on play you recover. Granted, you can only get 1 memory per turn because you have to suspend Kari Kamiya. But if you are not able to pull off this recovery effect, then you are able to pull off this Lucamon recovery effect. So this can free play the Lucamon. In the case that you digivolved up your chain and then you go to Lord Knightmon, then when attacking you can free play a yellow Digimon card, and then this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP for each other Digimon you have in play. So you can also free play Lucamon with this Lord Knightmon. Like, I have seen Lord Knightmon decks that play Lucamon just because they can free play Lucamon, gain an extra body on the board for free, and then also recover. But if you are focusing on free playing Magnadramons, and then attacking with Magnadramon, and then also being able to free play Lucamon, then there's like an insane amount of playing Lucamons in this deck. So I'm playing 4 Lucamons. Because if you build up your chain to Lord Knightmon, then you will have 1 guaranteed level 4 that gives Rush to your 4 Great Dragons. So Lord Knightmon on the field, you play Magnadramon, you can now free play Lucamon when attacking. If you attack with this, also you can free play another Lucamon. So there's just some innate synergies here. This one gives security attack -1, security attack -2 when you play it with Trial of the Four Great Dragons. So this is situationally good, but this really is the one that you want, because like I would say when you're putting pressure onto your opponent, use this one. When you're trying hard not to die, then use this one to stall them out. And as you stall them out, you just keep attacking them. So it seems like a good combo. Magnum German X Antibody is for situational removal in case you are able to delete something, or if you want to get 2 checks in. So it is also very situational. So I'm only playing 2, but it can digivolve off of your Magnum German or off of this Magnum German, or you can just free play it. Free playing it, you can at least get 2 checks in. But yeah, you have 8 different cards you can play using Trial of the Four Great Dragons. Kari Kamiya, Memory Setter. When you recover on your turn, then you gain 1 memory. So this is very good. I think it's fun. It is harder to do like an actual Goldramon deck where you trash your opponent's security cards. I don't think it's worth it, honestly, to go for that strategy, because this was one of the better decks that I came up with, and I'm still not sold that this deck is worthwhile to play. It does seem fun. It does seem like I'm able to get Azulongmon, Magnadramon, and Megadramon into my trash. So then once I attack with Goldramon, then I am able to use the trashing effect. But I don't think it's worth it. This deck is also focused on Goldramon enough so they can play Goldramon with Trial of the Four Great Dragons. But still, it's not worth it, honestly. Oh, I took away the Vidramon, so only this Gatomon gives Rush. But yeah, I don't think this deck is worth it. I would much rather go for a pure yellow build than just not really focusing on Goldramon, but focusing on this option, Trial of the Four Great Dragons. Like, this card is the card that I think we should be focusing on. Goldramon is okay. It seems clunky. Getting like 3 specific cards into your trash, it seems like too much of a hassle, not enough gain. So if I choose to instead focus on Trial of the Four Great Dragons, focus on just building a yellow build, focus on the freely playing a yellow level 3 Digimon card, and then playing Lucamon for recovery, Kari for gaining memory, Lord Knightmon for also playing Lucamon, because you don't need to go to Lord Knightmon to free play Lucamon. You can just free play Magnum German from BT2 using Trial, and then if it has Rush, then you attack, and then you play Lucamon. You can do it that way. Or if you don't draw into Trial, or if you don't draw into this Magnum German, they can attack with this Lord Knightmon, and then you gain the recovery that way. And then, you can stall out your opponent with negative security attacks while you recover. So this seems like a more easy to play, more rounded deck than just playing Four Great Dragons. There is a very, very fun way to play Four Great Dragons, the Megadramon and the Magnadramon from EX3 in a Mastamon deck. So that's actually pretty fun too. But for the current format, I think that just sticking to yellow is the better way to play around Trial of the Four Great Dragons. But anyways, that was my deck overview of 4 different decks that I have created. 5 actually, if you include this mono yellow deck, but just like an overview video of these 5 decks. Most likely Well, this was like the prototype, I should say, so that's not going to be used. This is like prototype V2, prototype V3, which is better than V2 but still not great. V4, which I might tweak and then it might actually be played someday by me. But this is actually the deck that I really want to play. This is the deck that I want to build around. Like, I see potential for this deck. The Magnum German, the Lord Knightmon, 7 possible cards that can allow you to free play Lucemon. Like, I think that this is the winner here. If I really want to, I can take out the Magnum X antibody because I don't think it does enough for the deck. So I can replace Magnum X antibody, throw in a Magnum German X antibody, throw in another Magnum German, and then I don't know, maybe toss some hybrids in the deck for fun, or maybe just increase the count on this Magnum German as well. But I don't think that this one's not that necessary. But yeah, this seems like a fun deck. Just free play Lucemons. It's like Lord Knightmon, but being able to have more available techs that allows you to free play Lucemon. So instead of running the usual 1 or 2 copies, I'm just running 4 copies of Lucemon. There is a chance that you will brick, but if you have faith that you will not brick, like this just seems like a fun deck to play. Maybe it's not too good. Maybe you shouldn't play regionals with it or ultimate cups with it. But if you just want a deck that seems fun, this deck seems very fun actually. And although I will use it at my locals eventually after I build it, I don't think that this is a deck that you should compete into high stakes tournaments with. I don't know, this deck might actually be better than I am thinking that it is, but it seems, let me think. You know what, it might actually be good. Who knows, it might actually be good. Maybe I have to take these out again, replace with more of these, but I think that's a fairly good deck. Anyways, thanks for watching my overview. Once I do build this deck out physically, I still need to grab 4 copies of Lucemon, preferably the alt arts, because they are now under $20, like $19 or something. So I just need to grab 4 Lucemons eventually. The EX3 cards I do not have yet. So I'm missing the EX3 cards. I can use some extra Karis. Lord Knightmons I do have. I can take them out of my deck. I probably should take them out of my deck because I'm not using them right now. But they're cheap-ish anyway, so I can just pick up 4 more. Same for the Magnum Germans. I can just pick up 3 more. But yeah, this seems pretty cheap to build considering what I currently have. What I'm planning to get. I'm planning on getting a bunch of EX3 boxes anyways, so I'm not even factoring the EX3 cards into additional spending because I already considered that spending, but I just need to get some more Lucemons, Magnum Germans, Lord Knightmons, Karis, and I should be good. Oh, actually, no, I still need the Upamons. The Upamons are like, I can use them if I don't want to use them. I can just replace them with something else. But yeah, that's my overview. And again, I will update this deck once I actually create it. Thanks for watching. I'm not sure if this deck needs an update, but if I do end up creating it, I just want to at least tell you how it performs, if it's good, if it's bad. But yeah, thanks for watching.